Hi, I'm Kristin Gutierrez, your host for Women in Localization's Ask the Experts series. And I'm here today with Marina Ilari. Tell me about yourself. Tell me about you.
All right. Well, I am originally from Argentina, but I live in Wisconsin, in Milwaukee. I've been living in the US now for over 10 years. I'm a linguist, so I studied translation, and also my mother is a translator. So she's always been a great mentor to me throughout my career. And 4 years ago, I became CEO of a company that my mother founded, Terra Translations. So I studied literary translation, and I think when I was studying, I pictured myself as a literary translator and more on that side of things. But then when I finished my studies, I sort of by accident found this project where they were looking for specialized linguists in video games. And I had never done that before, but I loved anything creative, like all type of creative translations I really enjoyed. And I loved video games. So I felt like, oh my goodness, this is like written for me. And so I applied, even though I had no experience doing that. And I went through a series of testings, and I got chosen to be part of that project. And really that project changed the trajectory of my career, because not only did it make me discover how passionate I was about video game localization and finding that very specific niche, especially when I did it, which was the early 2000s, it wasn't a very popular specialization for a translator, but also it helped me understand the localization process differently, not only from the translator side of things, but also more like having a bird's eye view of the localization industry and how it works, and the steps a brand or a product has to take to be successful in international markets. And I think sometimes as a linguist or as a translator, you only see like a really small portion of that strategy, or you're limited to this text, and sometimes you're not so connected to what the brand or the product wants to achieve and all of that. And I think it's really important to get that information as a translator to be able to render a successful translation for what they need to do. And on the video game side, it's all about the gamer comes first. So being able to put yourself in the gamer's shoes, and being able to experience the translation that you're doing from the gamer's perspective and how they are going to perceive it. And it's all about how they're going to feel, how immersive they can be through the game with your translation. So yeah, I would say that's something that really changed the way my career progressed, because from then on I started specializing more and more in gaming, and that's I sort of found my place, in the industry there.
So it must be quite the shift from being, a CEO of one, as you are, your own translator, kind of going out to get your work, to now being CEO of an organization. So tell me a little bit about that and some wisdom you've gotten in the last 4 years.
Yes. It wasn't easy, I always say, as a translator, as a linguist, you're not really trained in having your own business, in running your own business. And even if you are working as an independent freelance translator, you're basically running your own, solopreneur business. And it's really important to know how to do it well. Like, you have to fill in many other roles within the company, especially if you're by yourself. But then when you're leading a company, also, I think it really helped that I came from the translation side of things, because I understand that side very, very well. And also I worked, before becoming CEO, I worked on many different roles in the company. So I did a lot of project management, account management, quality control. So I sort of understand all the different roles within the company. And I think that helps me a lot be a better leader for the company. But it wasn't easy. I had to learn a lot, and sometimes, made mistakes and learned from them. And I learned to surround myself with people who are really smart and know more about the things where I don't know as much. So, for example, all the numbers, all the financial side of things, I am really thankful to have in my team people who are really specialized in that and can really help me with that. And again, I learned a lot, but when I first started out, I really didn't know all those things. So it was really important to surround myself with people who knew what they were doing. But also, I think in general, I always say it's really important to foster a community of peers and of mentors within the industry. That's why I love Women in Localization. It's a great space for that. The American Translators Association also has a mentoring program, which I support, and it's really cool. So I think any opportunities you can have to give back to the profession by being mentor or mentoring or volunteering in these associations is really powerful, and it can really help you advance in your career.
So great. That's so great. All right. Well, I don't have any other questions for you. I mean, it's, I see you on LinkedIn and I'm just like, I'm just grateful that you were like, yes, I want to be interviewed and share kind of your perspective. So thank you.
Thank you so much for having me. This was so fun and getting to know you. I love your energy.